Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah, coming to you guys from California. Before I begin, give all praises to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is the Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Pray that the Most High blesses this lesson this evening, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand the events that are currently happening on the earth, so we get a much better understanding of things that are soon to come on the earth. Brethren, we're going to get into a video here real quick talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls that were found in the Qumran caves in 1947. You're always looking at how the Gentiles try to somehow add some legitimacy to the things that they have been saying and the things that they have been pushing. So they're trying to use these documents they found in the Qumran caves, these Dead Sea Scrolls, in order to add legitimacy to themselves. We're going to get into the medieval. Okay, hold on real quick here. Let me see which book we're going to get into. The medieval empire of the Israelites. And we're going to read a little bit of some of the problems that they have with these documents. Like always, they're always trying to push everything happening over there in the three parts. And the Dead Sea Scrolls is a really big part of that. So we're going to take a look at that real quick. Right here, again, from the medieval empire of the Israelites. We're going to read a little bit here about there's quite a few issues with these documents, how they were found. 1947. I mean, dang. I mean, you couldn't find anything a little bit earlier. Right around the time that they actually get the lands given to them during the Balfour Declaration. All of a sudden, around that same time, or really, close to that time, these documents are found in order to add more legitimacy. I said just too many things happening a year or two around each other, just like King James coming over here, and then all of a sudden, a year later, he's translating the book. Same kind of thing happening right here. So we're going to read right there. It says, in 1947, a Bedouin looking for a lost goat reached into a cave on a cliff, which lifted to 300 meters above the level of the Dead Sea, along its western shore. He discovered 3 leather scrolls with texts written as the historians note. With amazingly durable ink. So you got some super durable ink already, all right? And then I goes, the fact alone that the scrolls are leather, while not even speaking of the ink, should have put the historians on their guard. There is no hide in the world that would not disintegrate over the ages, let alone more than thousands of years. But the historians have not been put on their guard. So you already got a couple things: the ink, the hide. Okay, already. It says they started to guess about when the manuscripts were written and who concealed them. They called for help on the ancient author Pliny the Elder, who wrote the well-known natural history, supposedly in the 1st century AD. That is, exactly in the epoch to which they intended to date the Qumran manuscript. So they go ahead and just find someone that kind of just fits what they want, the narrative that they want. The ancient author had written on the west side of the Dead Sea, and in the solitary tribe of the Essenes, no women, no money, only palm trees for company. Naturally, the scientific world decided that the Essenes mentioned by Pliny also were the inhabitants of the Khrebet Qumran, where there are no palms on the shores of the Dead Sea. Not even grass will grow there. Pliny the Elder clearly didn't know this, but they forgave him the small mistake. The Christian manuscripts found later in those very same locations would be able to give far more information, but they did not interest the scientists since they considered them to have been written much later. Meanwhile, the manuscripts which were written in Hebrew are extremely interesting, as also the old ruins discovered approximately a kilometer to the south of the Qumran caves. The excavations showed that there had once been a monastery here. Okay. There's your cave right there. So I don't know how they'd be looking for a goat in there, but okay. Let's continue here. But the archaeologists were not able to say the word monastery aloud in the first place because this Scaligerian history thinks that the Judeans had no monasteries, and in the second place because monasteries are known in the Scaligerian history of the church only starting from the 3rd and 4th centuries AD. Scaligerian chronology literally compelled the scientists to date the Qumran manuscripts at the start of our era, notwithstanding that there are notwithstanding that there are New Testament texts among the Qumran manuscripts, which was impossible in the first century. Right? Exactly. So one needs to recognize that these manuscripts also cannot serve as evidence of the Bible's antiquity. It is assumed that its canon was established by the Council of Laodicea, supposedly in 363 AD. However, no documents of this and other early councils were preserved. In reality, then, the canon is considered officially established only from the time of the Council of Trent, which was convened in 1545 and lasted with breaks until 1563. Disputes, okay, and the struggle of various groups at the council around the biblical canon lasted 17 years, nearly 17 years. We emphasize at the end of the 16th century. The Council of Trent not only approved the canon of the Bible, okay, on its orders, they compiled the sadly famous Index of the Forbidden Books. So we'll stop right there, okay, because we've done a video now before, okay. So as you can see, even them actually finding these books supposedly with this magical ink that just just this great ink that just keeps on going and just right there perfectly, and a hide of left it in leather also leaves a lot of these things to be very, very suspicious. It seems like every time they try to prove something over there, there's always some issue, there's always something that makes you have to think and make you have to wonder. You just fast forward to today, and they lie about absolutely everything that we see happening day by day. If they're going to lie about things that are happening to you, happening right in front of your face, what makes you think that they wouldn't lie about things like this? So there are a lot of issues with the Dead Sea Scrolls, and this book actually goes into it, and I wanted to make sure I shared that with you guys. And there's a lot more information that's going to be coming very shortly. But like I said, every time they try to force the Middle East, every time they're trying to force Ish, every time they're trying to force Egypt, it's just not working out. The prophecies are not being fulfilled like it says it's supposed to be over there, which would make sense because the books weren't over there in the first place. Just because you took the books and you transplanted them over to the third parts does not mean then that the prophecies that were written therein are going to actually occur over there. Where the prophecies are occurring lets you know exactly where everything originated. And as you're seeing, the vast majority of the things that are in prophecy are happening right here in the Americas, right in front of the world's face. Most of the world already knows what's going on. Many people are realizing that these prophecies are not being fulfilled over there. And the Most High is showing you exactly where his people originated, where the writing was originated, where the prophecies were originated, and it's all coming to a head. All praise is to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother, who is wisdom, who is the Holy Spirit. Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.